Anybody that's been in business that's watching this podcast, if they've been in business for a couple decades, they remember the recession that came through like 2008, 2009. Everything was getting crazy. We had a really unique business model back then. So we would go to other people's locations and teach class. So for example, I would go to 2 different daycares every morning, and in the afternoon, I'd go to 2 other daycares. And then at night, I would teach martial arts at a rec center or a church. And I did that Monday through Friday. My wife was doing that Monday through Friday and teaching dance. And then we had like a dozen other instructors that were doing that. So long story short, prior to the recession, we had over 2,000 students total, team of about a 10 to 12, give or take. And that's all they did. 2 or 3 classes in the morning, 2 or 3 classes in the middle of the day. And some of them would teach, 2 or 3 classes at night. Parents were paying us anywhere from $40 to $80 a month. It was a simple program. A lot of times we were only teaching once a week for 30 minutes at these daycares, and it was a 7-figure business. So going from, I mentioned earlier, I grew up with no money, to like being like 21, 22 years old at a 7-figure level, like you waste a lot of money and you make a lot of mistakes, firstly. So that's kind of the first start. When the recession hit, we were losing, oh my gosh, this is crazy. We were losing, I remember like the first month that it hit us, we lost like 30 students. And then the next month it was like 50. And then the next month it was like 80. And then the next month it was like 100. And it got to be where every phone call that was coming into our business line, and we were like, all the martial arts schools out there, that has like the number and then like the last 4 digits of the number spell the word kick. Yeah. It's like the coolest phone number ever, right? It was also my license plate. It was pretty funny. I have a story about my wife calling that phone number before we ever even met. I'll tell that in a second. But the recession hit. We started losing all these students, and it got to the point where we literally automated the cancellation process because we knew that if you were calling us, you were calling to quit, right? So we were losing a ton of money. It got to a point where there was a pivotal moment where I'm driving this ridiculous, stupid, expensive Mercedes convertible with rims, like dumb chrome, shiny rims that were probably only cool at like year 2000, but I still had them in like 2009. And I go through the drive-thru of Burger King, okay? And I'm there to pick up food for Lauren and our oldest daughter at the time, Giselle. And the food was like $10, right? And I ordered myself like a Whopper or whatever. So I go to pay with a credit card and it declines. And I'm in a car at the time that was over $100,000. And I'm like, crap, try this card, decline. Now I'm getting embarrassed. Try this card. The third one declines. So I literally open up the center console, right? And I start scrounging around. I'm like, oh, $1, another $1, a bunch of quarters. I had just enough money to buy my wife's food and my daughter's food. I went home and had like ramen noodles or Chef Boyardee, something in a can, okay? And I remember feeling so defeated because we hadn't received our deposit from the billing company. So we had no money. And then it got so bad that I was strategically parking that same Mercedes so they wouldn't get repoed because the repo guy was after. We were almost 3 months late on those payments. So long story short, it gets to the point where I'm like, what do we do? Like, we're about to lose everything. And this is another God moment. So we're living on Clearwater Beach. I walk out and I'm at night. I'm standing in the Gulf of Mexico, now known as the Gulf of America. And it's pitch black. I'm in like, thigh high water. And I'm just like, all right, God, this sucks. I need a sign, man. Something. Give me something. And I literally just see this flash of summer camp, like the word summer camp. And I kind of laughed to myself and I'm like, okay, summer camp. I guess that's the sign. So I go back up to the condo, and this was on a Friday. I tell Lauren, I go, hey, what are your thoughts about us hosting a summer camp? She's like, yeah, let's do it. I send an email to 14,000 emails that we had on our list from all of these satellite locations, all these daycares, all these rec centers that we had. And a lot of them were closing down, by the way. So we were like dropping locations and dropping students. And we sent out this email that's like, hey, we're going to open up a summer camp. It's going to be, the whole summer, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. Because I knew that those were like the operating hours of most daycare/summer camp programs. And on the dot, 50 kids. We got reply emails for a total of 50 kids. And those parents were like, yeah, we'll do it. And I looked at Lauren and I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing a summer camp. We had no idea what we were doing. We had the only location that we had a lease on, because all the other ones were satellites, right? The only location we had a lease on was in Tampa, and it was 900 square feet. It was a little tiny ballet studio. I had portable folding mats that I could Velcro together when we were rolling. And there was mirrors and a bar, like a dance bar that you could stretch on. And we had 50 kids every single day in the summer camp. And all of the parents were like, they love this program. I mean, it was so bad. This was such a horrible summer camp. Like, we didn't have money for tables and chairs, so the kids were eating snack on the floor. We had like just enough money for like some used Legos, and they're playing Legos. I'm teaching martial arts like 2 or 3 times a day. She's teaching dance and cheerleading, but the kids had a blast. And we saw that as an opportunity. And as we continued to grow that turned into an after-school program. That turned into a second location. And that turned into us testing it at satellite locations as well. So the biggest that we had were 5 at one time, right back into the 7-figure level of revenue. And then we're like, wait a minute, what if we teach summer camp and after school to other school owners that might be in the same position that we were, where they're like losing students can't afford to train anymore. And we started the company launched at the very end of 2014. We had our first member January of 2015, who's actually still in the program. Shout out to the Pouchard family. They're up in Maine, Rob and Rebecca Pouchard, and their son Caleb and their daughter Kiana. They're awesome people. And it just, next thing you know, we spoke at the Super Show a couple times. We're like going around and everybody's joining the program. So that's what we do. We teach people how to do summer camp and after school. And if they're willing, we'll help them save their marriage.
Wild ride.
It's crazy. Like, I always get the follow-up question. Is that what you went to school for? I dropped out of school.